Hey guys, and welcome to this video about how to close the deal using Facebook ads and Google AdWords together. I know that problems many people have with Facebook ads is that they, for example, get a lot of engagement, that they have a very good CTR and a lot of clicks, and they have a high relevance score of like 8 or 9 or sometimes 10. But somehow they are still not able to get sales. So the conversion rate on Facebook typically is relatively low. Of course, this isn't always the case. Some people get like huge conversion rates with Facebook. We also use Facebook ads a lot, and it's going really well. But in general, Facebook ads are a little the Facebook ads conversions are a little low compared to, for example, AdWords or Bing or whatever search engine marketing you can use, where you specifically search for the products you're offering. Of course, at the same time, Facebook has very advantages that we will talk about later. So it's not that Facebook is like the bad platform and the other ones are the good platform. It's definitely not the case. At the same time, people are having a lot of problems with AdWords too, of course. So they are typically getting a very good cost per acquisition for their sales. They have a very high conversion rate because they can use like search campaigns and shopping campaigns, which typically have conversion rates of 5, 10, 15%. And they see a very good ROI of the traffic they get from these campaigns. But they are hitting saturation because the problem with AdWords, for example, is that once you are getting a high search impression share, so let's say you get 90% of all the impressions that are relevant for your product. So let's say you sell, I don't know, stuff for dogs, so all kind of dog stuff, and you have a lot of campaigns that you're using for these products, and at some point you have like 90% search impression share. So in 90% of the cases where someone is looking for the products that you are selling or for the keywords that you define for your products, you are actually showing up. So this means that you almost hit like the full potential of your AdWords campaigns. Now, of course, you can add more keywords, you can get a little broader with your targeting, but for the very good and very and the keywords with a very high ROI, you're hitting the saturation, and this is where Facebook kicks in. So the first method is for people that are struggling with Facebook ads, and this is bidding on branded terms using AdWords. So what many people don't know is that people actually look up your store name on Google. So let's say you have a store like the best pet store or something like this, thebestpetstore.com. People find your Facebook ad and probably they also like your product, but they never heard of your store before. Probably you don't have any social proof, so you don't have a lot of likes, a lot of engagement, like a verification badge or something like that. So they look your store name up on Google and they cannot find anything. So they think, okay, there is something sketchy here, because typically when you enter the name of a store, of a brand, it will show up at the very top of Google. But for most dropshippers and new e-commerce businesses, you cannot show up on Google even with your own name, simply because you didn't exist for too long, because you probably don't do any SEO or things like that. So they cannot find you on Google. Probably they even go to the second page and cannot find anything. So they immediately think that's something that you're not very reliable, not very trustworthy, and they're not buying. So I don't say that this is the case for all your visitors. Of course, it's not. Many people still buy and they are still making the purchase. But I know that many people actually do this and end up not buying, even though they have clicked your link, for example. And this is one of the many reasons why people are actually engaging and visiting your store but not buying, because at the same time they are looking you up. They want to see if you are appearing on Google, if you have any social proof and things like that before they actually buy, but they cannot find you. So the solution here is that you use Google AdWords too, to bid on your own brand terms on AdWords and show up to these people who are looking for your store. So you can do this at very cheap, because your own brand term is typically not very competitive. So let's say you have, especially when you have like a fantasy name that isn't very general, like pet store. The best pet store probably has some competition too, of course, but if you have some fantasy name for your brand, then you can easily bid on the brand and get very low CPC. But whenever people are coming to your store and then they are looking up the store on Google, they will find you because you have almost no competition. You will show up in position 1. People think, okay, this seems to be serious, I can find something about this business immediately, and you can then send them back to your store and give them more information about your products and everything. Of course, your store at the same time has to look reliable, you have to appear professionally and stuff like that, but this is the case no matter what you're using. So this is one method to improve your Facebook campaigns using Google AdWords. Now, at the same time, of course, this is one part of the traffic. So, of course, this isn't true for all your visitors and all the people you're addressing on Facebook. But at the same time, you can get the other method that I want to present today is that you can get traction with AdWords. So you can start off with AdWords, getting initial sales, especially if you struggled with Facebook ads so far, and then you can scale using Facebook itself. So let's say you're using AdWords and you get sales at a good CPA, and the problem is that once you reach high impression share, just as I mentioned in the beginning, you approach saturation. So 80%, 90%, 95%. Sometimes with our clients, we even hit like 98, 99% search impression share. So this means for all the keywords that we defined, we're basically showing up all the time. So what you can do is you can get the initial paying customers using AdWords, because it's a little easier to get sales with AdWords than with Facebook, at least if you have products that are suitable for AdWords. So you can close the deal on AdWords, getting the sales because you created very high converting search and shopping campaigns, for example, and then you can use this information to upload an audience to Facebook ads and create an LLA from this. I actually made a mistake. I said upload LLA. Obviously, you upload your customer list and then you create an LLA from this. So you upload the customer list and then you create an LLA based off that to reach completely new people. So with this, you can leverage your AdWords data by getting the sale on AdWords, which is typically a little easier than on Facebook. But then you can use the huge amount of people on Facebook to actually expand this and create an LLA from these people and reach completely new people. So you started off on AdWords, got a low CPA, you improved your AdWords campaigns, you optimized them, and once you hit this saturation, you go over to Facebook and find new people with that. Of course, you can also do things like LLA on AdWords. So you can expand your audiences. You can, on AdWords, there is something called similar people. So you can do something very similar to Facebook lookalikes on AdWords too. But here, of course, it makes a lot of sense to use both platforms. And in my experience, Facebook LLAs work a little bit better. And at the same time, you can re-engage your visitors through dynamic ads on Facebook with your product catalog. So you can send the people that are interested in your products through AdWords to your website. Then you create the catalog that you can use in Facebook ads. You create the product sets and everything. And then you retarget those people that visited your site and came through AdWords, and you target them through Facebook dynamic ads. So this is a great way to combine AdWords and Facebook, no matter what of these both you're using. If you're only using Facebook so far, you can get these initial sales with AdWords, and you can get these sales. If you only used AdWords, you can use Facebook to scale. So AdWords typically is the lowest hanging fruit, because if you go ahead and find these profitable keywords for your products, you can go to AdWords, you can launch a campaign pretty quickly, and if you optimize them the right way, if you use good keywords, if you do good keyword research, if you create ads with high CTR and everything, and use the proper landing pages in your store, it's pretty likely that you get sales at a decent CPA. And then when you reach the saturation, you go over to Facebook and find new people, get more people in the funnel, because the people on Facebook are typically a little higher in the funnel. So when they visit your page, they are somewhat interested in your brand, they got to know you, they want to learn more about you. But when someone from Google Shopping, for example, clicks, he is already a little bit deeper in the funnel, because he knows, for example, how expensive your product is, what you're selling exactly. By typing in the keyword, he or she showed some interest in your product already. So they are typically a little deeper in the funnel, but nonetheless, it makes sense, of course, to get completely new people on top of the funnel through Facebook ads. So yes, this is basically how you can use these both platforms together. I hope this little video here helped you, and if you want to learn more about Google AdWords, make sure that you visit the link in the description to the eCom PPC Academy, where you can find some free stuff, but also a whole in-depth training program to use Google AdWords with e-commerce. And yes, else that I wish you best of luck with your e-commerce businesses, and see you in the next video, guys.